Hello, hello. Greetings and salutations. We have arrived at Cancer Decan III, and this is going to have to be a very impromptu little video because I gotta book it. I had a whole episode plan. I wanted to talk about leaving home, about the impermanence of a home, about the impossibility of returning to the home that you knew. These are the Cancer Decan III themes that I was looking to incorporate today. Yet again, the stars in their desire to participate anytime that we ask for participation wanted me to live Cancer 3 instead. We had here in Florida our first tropical storm warning. We didn't know if it was going to turn into a tropical storm. We had heard about the last one turning from a Category 1 to a Category 5 literally overnight. We're in a 30-foot travel trailer. Our RV park told us, they advised us to evacuate. So these last few days have been us figuring out, do we read the environment? Do we respond to the environment? Is it time for us to go? The idea that we both arrived at was that if we stayed, nothing would happen. Everything would be fine. There would be no issues whatsoever. No. If we went, there would be no issues. If we decided to go ahead and move inland, nothing would happen to the park. But if we stayed, we would have a tree redux. The tree we talked about in the last episode. So we decided to move inland. And we called around some places, and stressful day of, cinching everything down and getting moving, while monitoring the storm and all of that, and having to navigate still having jobs to go to in a number of hours, all that. Ended up getting to a spot, this spot, in fact, this gorgeous place, between two lakes. Twin Lakes is the name of this spot, and it is absolutely serene and gorgeous. And the cover image is the first thing that I shot when I got here, sitting in this peninsula between two lakes, double rainbow, 2 rainbows for 2 lakes. And I thought that the symbolism is insane. We didn't want to leave, but we thought the time had come, okay? And one other aspect to this that was absurd but also perfect is once it came time for us to actually pull out, we had Hecate, the stray that has adopted us, as I mentioned in the last episode, sitting under the trailer the whole time. We told her she could come with us if she wanted to. She felt tentative about all of that. I left her food by the fence. We promised we would return in just a couple days. But I felt so weird leaving her. And we were all hitched up, and I was sitting in the driver's seat, and I actually started crying because I just couldn't imagine leaving her to fend for herself out in the storm if it got really bad. So I did one more. I opened the door, invited her inside. She came up to the door, she looked inside, she got all the way in, and then said, "Nah, I'm gonna wait it out." Jumped back out and walked away. And so we walked away. And isn't it just like that? I still don't know if she's okay. I'm sure she is, because I don't think anything happened in our area, just like we were intuiting. But all of this happened instead, and this has been a Cancer Decan III experience through and through. What is the name of this card? This is the Four of Cups. It is called the Lord of Blended Pleasure. And I really like blended pleasure because that feels like many things. It feels like melancholy, but it's not melancholy. It's beauty and it's pleasure, but it's blended with, I would suggest, sorrow is the thing that it's blended with. The Four of Cups, the card on the Rider-Waite, is also an amazing image. One of the best cups images. It's a man sitting at the base of a tree in a lotus position, and there are 3 cups sitting around him at the base of the tree, and then a 4th cup is appearing, being held by a hand coming out of clouds, handing the cup toward him. And some people have compared this to being Siddhartha before he became the Buddha, and his whole self-directed desire to leave the luxury of his home of royalty and the comfort of having everything that he needed, and leaving that home and sitting under the Bodhi tree and finding enlightenment in no thing. I wanted to talk about mono no aware. Mono no aware, a Japanese concept of aesthetics that is similar to wabi-sabi if you know it, but it's got more story in it. It is, it literally means the sorrow in objects. And I felt like that was a really useful concept for this decan, blended pleasure. The sorrow in objects is about the impermanence of beauty, that double rainbow that I show you in the cover image that was happening right here. The impermanence of beauty, the tug of the fullness of feeling that beauty, and also knowing that it simultaneously knowing that it will not last. Leaving home knowing that home will never be the same if you ever do try to return. Preparing the way for the ancestor who is not yet the ancestor, who is in liminal space between worlds. Preparing the way to say that I will carry your light. That's blended pleasure. That's mono no aware. And the Japanese filmmaker that I thought was perfect for this is Yuzuru Ozu. One of the most gifted poetic filmmakers ever, and also completely unique in his own right. And his film Tokyo Story is one of the best films ever made. And this is aging parents returning to Tokyo, where the family is, to experience life of the grown children, and there really not being room for them anymore. And this very aching, melancholy, nostalgic, but beautiful film really does perfectly capture these themes. Tokyo Story. And I wanted to talk about Aeneas carrying his father and carrying the penates, the household ancestor gods in a burning Rome. And the Roman tradition of keeping the hearth for the ancestors, the Babylonian tradition of pouring one out for the hungry ghosts that live below. These are all Cancer Decan III. The Fire We Carry was a title that I was playing with. This is that hearth that is carrying the lineage of the ancestors that we tend to, that we feed, that we carry with us. even when the physical body has left. All right, we have an exit. I have to go back and see if the home, the temporary home that we were living in is still there or if it's underwater. But it's time to find out right now. So I have to leave. And I hope you've enjoyed this truncated but relatively perfect ramble about Cancer Decan III. Mono no aware. Blended pleasure. Beauty never lasts. The impermanence of things. Preparing for the silver gate at the Tropic of Capricorn. We've just found our body, and yet we also must know that we will release it sooner than we are ready. All right, much love to you. We'll see you next time.